On the bill.
Thank you so much. And I have a question for the author. My sister is a lifelong journalist, and so I have a deep respect for the trade, and I see what's happened. She worked for many newspapers in California and New York over the years. She's been a freelance journalist for years. My worry is this is actually not, the funds that are going back to these large publishers are not going to actually go back to the journalists. That's the first question. Second question is, what prevents this fund from actually funding misinformation just as well as it funds the San Diego Union Tribune? You know, you're watching. And three, how do we ensure that there is, you know, in my mind, this is the equivalent of like back in the old days, I had a newspaper subscription. I took my newsletter and I went to, you know, my little knitting circle and I showed an article to a friend. That's what we would normally do back in the old days, right? Now we have online, I'm sharing something maybe about me, maybe about my daughter, online. How are we differentiating what is just sharing like we would in the old days in newspaper that maybe my friend didn't buy, and what we're doing? So those are three questions, and if you can ask them before you're closed, that would be great.
Rise in support of the bill because I trust the author. I trust that she will do the right thing. But I do have concerns about the bill. I was reviewing who's in support and who's in opposition, and one of the opposition letters is from Cal Matters. And Cal Matters is making the point that this bill runs the risk of favoring large newspapers over small newspapers, or, you know, and not to mention the growing movement toward nonprofit media outlets. And so, you know, I completely support the intent to make sure that we have a strong and robust free press, not only our large dailies, but also our nonprofit media, our ethnic media. And so, for the sake of moving this forward, I will vote for the bill. I trust and ask the...
So I think that the goal of this bill is noble indeed, and I concur with the remarks that came before me. Local newspapers are essential to our democracy. Shout out to the San Mateo Daily Journal before I proceed. But in any event, they are essential, and I said this in committee because I saw this bill in two committees. As the only Greek on the floor, my people invented democracy. I take it very seriously. It runs through my veins. But I really think the devil's in the details on this. So I am going to support it today, but we've talked at length, and I have talked at length with the author about not all tech is created equal. The arbitration provisions from the legal standpoint, I think, haven't been fully baked, with all due respect. And I hate when people say with all due respect, but you get what I'm saying. And I applaud the idea that you want to see this money go into the hands of reporters, because that's who is woefully underpaid in this equation. I don't care which outlet they work for. So I think the devil's going to be in the details. I'm going to support it today, but we got to crank through and get some of this stuff really worked out. But I do applaud the goal, and I applaud everyone here today.